welcome to our channel. Today we present to you the most spine-chilling true night shift horror stories that will leave you afraid to ever be alone at work again. Prepare yourself for a terrifying journey into the unknown. Turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and let's begin. Our first story takes place in an old hospital notorious for its dark past. Sarah, a nurse, was assigned the night shift. She was used to the occasional odd noise, but one night was different. As she walked down the corridor, she felt a sudden drop in temperature. She heard faint whispers, but when she turned, no one was there. Then, she saw it. A shadowy figure standing at the end of the hallway, staring at her with hollow eyes. She froze in terror, but when she blinked, the figure vanished. The next morning she found out that the figure she saw matched the description of a patient who died tragically years ago in that very hospital. In an old factory, Jake worked the graveyard shift, maintaining the machines. One night, as he walked past the assembly line, he saw a man in old-fashioned work clothes. He thought it was a colleague, but when he approached, the man disappeared into thin air. Later, Jake learned about a fatal accident that occurred in the factory decades ago. The description of the man he saw matched the victim exactly. From that night on, Jake would hear footsteps behind him, but every time he turned around, no one was there. Lisa worked late in an office building downtown. One night she was finishing up a report when she heard the unmistakable sound of typing coming from the next cubicle. Knowing she was alone, she cautiously peeked over the divider. The keyboard was moving on its own, typing out "Get out." Panicked, Lisa grabbed her things and ran out. Security footage later showed the keyboard moving without anyone there. The office had once been the site of a tragic suicide, and many believe the restless spirit still roams the halls, warning late workers to leave. In a small-town supermarket, Ben was stocking shelves during the night shift. He kept hearing footsteps and seeing shadows move out of the corner of his eye. One night he saw a figure standing in the dairy aisle, but when he got closer, it disappeared. Security cameras captured orbs of light and mysterious shadows. It turned out that years ago, a homeless man had died in that very aisle. Ben could never shake the feeling of being watched, and eventually quit his job. Alex worked in a massive warehouse, organizing inventory. He often heard whispers and saw shadows flit between the aisles. One night, while using a forklift, he saw a figure standing in his path. He slammed the brakes, but the figure was gone. Colleagues spoke of the warehouse wraith, a former worker who died in an accident years ago. The haunting was so intense that several workers refused to stay after dark. In a call center, Emily answered calls during the night shift. One night, she received a call from an unknown number. The voice on the other end was faint and distant, repeating, "Help me." She traced the call to an office phone in the building, but when she went to investigate, the office was empty. Security records showed the phone hadn't been used in years. The building had a history of unexplained deaths, and many believed it was cursed. In a historic hotel, Clara worked the night shift at the front desk. The hotel was rumored to be haunted, but Clara didn't believe in ghosts until one fateful night. She received a call from room 306, but that room had been unoccupied for years. When she answered, all she heard was static and faint crying. She sent security to check it out, but they found the room empty. However, the bed was disturbed, and the air was icy cold. Legend had it that a woman had been murdered in that room, and her spirit still lingered, seeking justice. In an old school building, Michael was the night janitor. He often heard children laughing and running in the halls, but when he checked, the school was empty. One night he saw a little girl standing at the end of the corridor. She stared at him with sad eyes before disappearing into a classroom. Michael later learned that a fire had claimed the lives of several children in the school many years ago. He could never shake the feeling that the spirits of those children were still there, trapped in the place where they had perished. Our final story takes us to an abandoned asylum. Tom, a security guard, was assigned to watch over the property during the night shift. He often heard screams and cries echoing through the empty halls. One night he saw a figure in a hospital gown wandering aimlessly. When he approached, the figure disappeared, leaving behind a chilling breeze. Tom later found out that the asylum had a history of mistreatment and neglect, with many patients dying under mysterious circumstances. The spirits of those tortured souls still roamed the halls, seeking peace. These stories are a reminder that sometimes, the night shift is more than just a quiet time to work. When the lights dim and the world sleeps, the boundary between our world and the unknown becomes dangerously thin. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more true horror stories. And remember, if you ever find yourself alone at work late at night, you might not be as alone as you think.